The Pan-African Dance Festival, also known as Fespad, was created in 1998 by the Farmer Organization of African Unity, OAU. The biennial festival's aim is to promote the culture of peace and exchange of African people's culture on the continent and around the world. Under the supervision and management of the Ministry of Sports and Culture, Fespad has been organized through the years around specific themes such as Dance for Cultural Peace in 2000, Dance for Exchanges between African People in 2002, and many more. In 2010, Rwanda Development Board, RDB, was given for the first time the responsibility of organizing and implementing the 7th edition of Fespad. RDB was created in February 2009, thereby absorbing, among other institutions, ORTPN, as well as the Rwanda Investment and Export Promotion Agency, RIEPA. RDB's vision is to transform Rwanda into a dynamic global hub for business, investment, and innovation. Mr. John Gada is Rwanda Development Board Chief Executive Officer.
The Rwanda Development Board is an institution which was set up to fast-track the development of Rwanda, the economic development of Rwanda, primarily focusing on the private sector development. The RDB, as it's more commonly known, has a number of departments focusing on different economic clusters. That includes agriculture, services, ICT, tourism, and also others that deal with human capital and institutional development. So we cover a wide array of activities, but our primary goal is to fast-track development in Rwanda.
In order to achieve its goals, RDB develops and implements various projects. Kwitizina, or the gorilla naming ceremony, is one of the major projects. The ceremony takes place every year since its launch in 2005 and has attracted a number of international celebrities. The main event is accompanied by several other, including a cross-country cycling tour and a conservation conference. The baby gorillas have been named, among others, by the president and his wife, ambassadors, Hollywood stars, and internationally renowned performing artists. Although mountain gorillas are still the nation's prime attraction, Rwanda also offers amazing natural and scenic beauty, as well as unique flora and fauna in its 3 national parks. Connecting the festival to RDB's vision brought Fespad 2010 to a new dimension. Besides celebrating African cultural diversity, this year's Fespad organizer have overviewed yet another opportunity for Rwanda to showcase its huge investment potential in tourism and the creative arts industry.
Fespad, has before been primarily organized by the Ministry of responsible for culture and sport. As it was run over time, it was realized that there is more to Fespad than just the cultural element. Fespad is an opportunity to attract tourists in Rwanda. Fespad is an opportunity to showcase what we have in Rwanda and thereby also showcase possible investment opportunities. Fespad, in a sense, is similar to many other kind of activities like that carried out in other countries, particularly in Latin America and the UK. And so we saw an opportunity to emulate the way they do it and try and use a cultural event to also promote tourism and investment in Rwanda. And that's how RDB got involved in Fespad.
The Fespad 7th edition theme was Traditional Dance, a Precious Potential in Creative Industries. The week-long festival was characterized by dance workshops, dance art exhibitions, and concerts featuring renowned international, regional, and local artists. The 2010 edition also featured for the first time a national dance competition of local talents and an international conference on entrepreneurship. The conference was a creative economic perspective in Africa. The idea was not only performing, but also bringing international speakers to educate Rwandan entrepreneurs.
In terms of organizing Fespad, it was, of course, a difficult task, but a challenging task as well. And challenging in the sense that Fespad is not just a national event. It's an event that involves mobilization of people from many other countries, mobilization of artists from different parts of the world, and that can be a challenge, but a very interesting challenge. In our case, this year's Fespad, from the reviews that we got, not just our own judgment, was extremely successful.
The festival kicked off on July 24, 2010 at Amahoro National Stadium. The official opening ceremony of Fespad was animated by diverse performances such as a parade from participating countries including Angola, Burundi, China, DRC, Egypt, Madagascar, Namibia, and Uganda. The country's parade was followed by a spectacular and vibrant choreography by Luo Cheng and a concert with local, regional, and international stars. The magnificent opening ceremony was an indication of what to expect of Fespad 2010. Cultural tourism, cultural enrichment, and private sector growth, promotion of Rwanda rising creative industries were a core focus of the 7th edition of the Pan-African Dance Festival. The festival ended with an outstanding concert by the legendary Zouk maestro Kassav on July 31, 2010 at the Amahoro National Stadium. Organized and implemented for the first time by Rwanda Development Board, RDB, the Pan-African Dance Festival's 7th edition kicked off on the 24th of July 2010 at Amahoro National Stadium. The opening ceremony choreography combined Chinese finest dance art with Rwandese tradition, offering a breathtaking and spectacular dance masterpiece. The Chinese choreographer Luo, in collaboration with two Rwandese dance trainers, Simon Iyarwera and Mugisha Joseph, pulled up a superb, energetic, and astonishing choreography mixing Rwandese traditional dances and the China's finesse. Mesmerizing costumes, great timing, and choreography perfection were the major components of this collaboration.
Chinese choreography, they are massive, and the impressions are in form of shapes to mean some things. So at first, I think he was briefed about what Rwanda is. So in his choreography, he comes up with the impression of Rwanda. So in his choreography, you saw when the boys came in the equator, well, that is to symbolize that Rwanda is somewhere near the equator. So that was the means of it. The next, they form shapes of like mountains, actually, in the choreography. Rwanda is built on over 1,000 hills. So he brought in that. Then later you saw the girls going around in a circle. That symbolizes the sun, the abundant sunshine. So basically it was speaking about the beauty of Rwanda, but using, can you imagine, 1,080 participants to make all that choreography. Now, what we did, first of all, when the rehearsal started, we went to schools. Per school, they gave us 360 children. The first thing we asked for, disciplined children who can listen. Because in that, if you don't, you cannot manage. Then, obviously, we had to speak to them on a mic. They were sharp, I can recommend them for that. So we used to handle group by group. Now, remember like the choreography of the mountains? The boys first come and do it. We handle them. Then next repetition, we begin with the girls. Then the other will begin with Inganzongari. Each like maybe 3 days, 3 days. Then we begin combining the boys and the girls. See how they come in. The girls and Inganzongari. Then after we made one whole piece to see that it all comes up together. But we started beat by beat by beat. Each group had its role in that choreography.
Fespad Week was also an opportunity for Rwandans exposure to different traditional and contemporary cultural dances and to learn and appreciate other cultures. The performances by the 11 participating countries blow away the Rwandan public at the Cultural Village and later on at the National University of Rwanda Grand Auditorium in the Southern Province.
I'm so much overwhelmed by all these countries that came. In the first beginning, we've been just used to countries hereby coming. First of all, look at China. China coming to attend. We got a very rich, what can I say, a present from the outside world. France, you know, we're now trying to get relations. It came. It was, whenever I was arranging actually performances, I was confused about which country to put where, because all of them exhibited a nice culture. At one point, I had to decide between, there was a show in Butare and another in Gisenyi. I said, I'm taking all of them to Butare. People here will not miss this culture, they need to see it. This country had great potential of cultures. And them too, they enjoyed it here very much. They also love the Rwandan culture. They participated and they learned our dance. But most of all, what we Rwandans got from them, it is that love of African spirit, that everything in us is bounded by our culture. So I think I'm really overwhelmed and so honored that we had these countries here.
For the organizers, the festival was a platform for encounters, exchange of experiences, and development of African cultures in their diversity through traditional dances.
The spirit of Fespad and particularly the element of Pan-Africanism, I think, came out well. We had, a number of countries which participated from all over Africa and from outside of Africa. I do think that it's something that we shall continue to promote, but I also think it was very good for the Rwandans to see the shows that were being put on by the other countries, and yes, I'm quite convinced that the Pan-African spirit of Fespad came out again. It wasn't just a Rwandan show, it was clearly an international show, and that was very pleasing too.